Good morning. This question is for the Premier. Speaker, on November 3rd, Ontario schools were reporting about 2,300 cumulative cases of COVID-19. Just over 2 weeks later, and those numbers are up to 3,626 and growing by about 100 new cases a day. On Tuesday, the minister signaled that closures might be coming here as well, but yesterday he announced they would remain open, but without any additional support for our students. With the recent flip-flop up, down, sideways on regional restrictions, parents and educational workers are watching very closely. They want to know that all decisions about schools are being driven by public health advice, not political considerations. So my question to the Premier is this: what changed between Tuesday and Wednesday, and was this decision made by Dr. Williams or Dr. Ford?
The Minister of Education.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the decision point in the context of looking around the holidays to make sure our kids remain safe, that decision was made on the advice exclusively of the Chief Medical Officer of Health and the public health tables. That is a matter of fact, Speaker. Now, in the context of what we're doing in this province, in the context of our schools, we have put in place a plan fully supported by the Chief Medical Officer, fully funded by our province, and evidence-informed. And the evidence that underpins our plan demonstrates it's keeping kids safe. The fact that 99% of kids are COVID-free, the fact that 99.5% of staff are COVID-free, the fact that 85% of schools have never had a COVID case. It underscores that we're doing something right in this province, led by our teachers, by the sacrifice of our parents, and by our public health leaders, and we are proud of each and every one of them, Speaker.
And the supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And while the minister tries to justify his government's underfunding with these cold stats, I want him to remember that these numbers are people. Each worker or student case impacts a whole family, a whole school, a whole community. No case of illness or death is acceptable. Speaker, New York City just closed its schools, citing a positivity rate of 3% in the community as the threshold for risk. Toronto's positivity rate is double that. We need our schools here to stay open, but we need them to stay safely open. Classes are still being combined into larger ones. Itinerant teachers are still moving between as many as 8 schools. New custodians are still unaccounted for. So in the interest of complete transparency, Mr. Speaker, will the Premier make public the advice he's received from Dr. Williams and the ministry's new in-house advisor?
Minister of Education.
Well, Mr. Speaker, Dr. Williams and the command table are accessible to the public multiple times a week, and I look forward to that question being posed to him, because he will affirm, as he advised myself and members of Cabinet, that our plan in this province stands alone as one that is keeping kids safe. That is a position of Dr. Williams, Dr. Davila, Dr. Dubé, Dr. Silverman, Dr. Chugla, Dr. Yaffe, and the list goes on, because there is a consensus in this province. The plan we have unveiled, informed by the best medical science in Canada, is keeping students safe. And those data points, they instill confidence in parents. The 99.95% of students are COVID-free. They may be inconvenient facts for you, member, but they provide confidence to the people on the front lines, sending their kids every day to school. And we are confident. We are confident in our teachers. We are confident in our nurses, in our doctors, and in everyone working together to reduce the risk of community transmission in this province.